Every seller I meet asks the same thing. William, what's my home worth? After 36 years selling luxury real estate on the Monterey Peninsula, I can tell you that's actually the last question you should be asking. Here are the 3 questions you need to answer first before you ever put a sign in your yard. I'm William Smith with the Carmel Luxury Group. I've been selling homes from Carmel to Pebble Beach to Big Sur for over 3 decades, and in that time, I've seen sellers leave hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table, not because their home wasn't valuable, but because they skipped these 3 questions. Let me show you what separates sellers who maximize their sale from those who settle for less. Question 1, and this surprises people: who is your buyer? Most sellers think whoever pays the most. But here's what 36 years has taught me. On the Monterey Peninsula, your buyer profile determines everything about how you should prepare, price, and market your home. Let me break this down. We have distinct buyer pools here. Silicon Valley executives looking for a weekend retreat or retirement transition. They want turnkey, they're paying cash. They'll pay a premium for move-in ready, but they'll discount heavily for deferred maintenance because they don't have time to manage projects from San Jose. Second home buyers from LA, Seattle, Denver, they're often more flexible on timeline and terms, but they're comparison shopping against other coastal markets. Your competition isn't just the house down the street, it's Montecito, it's Santa Barbara. International buyers, particularly for Pebble Beach and Carmel-by-the-Sea, prestige matters, provenance matters. They want to know who lived there before and what the history is, while local move-up buyers know the market intimately. They know when a home is overpriced. They're patient. Here's why this matters. I had a seller in Carmel last year. Beautiful home, but dated kitchen, dated flooring, and needed some termite repair work. They wanted to list more as is. I asked, who's your buyer? Turned out the most likely buyer pool was Silicon Valley executives. People who would pay top dollar for turnkey but wouldn't touch a project. We invested $65,000 in a refresh, sold for $180,000 over their original target price. The buyers, an executive couple from Silicon Valley and Austin, Texas, closed in 30 days. If we listed as is, we'd have attracted a different buyer, probably a local who'd want a discount for the work. The question, who is your buyer, changed everything about our strategy. Question 2, what's your timeline? I know, sounds simple, but here's what I've learned. Most sellers say they're flexible, but they actually have a hard deadline they're not telling me. Maybe it's a job relocation. Maybe it's a purchase they're trying to coordinate. Maybe it's a life event. Why does this matter? Because timeline changes strategy completely. If you have 90 days or more, we can price at the top of the market, stage meticulously, wait for the right buyer. Patience becomes a weapon. If you need to close in 60 days, we price to create urgency. We might accept a slightly lower offer with a fast close over a higher offer with contingencies. If you're in a contingent situation, you need to sell this home to buy your next one. That's a completely different playbook. We need to coordinate timing, maybe negotiate a rent back, possibly look at bridge financing options. I had sellers a few years back, lovely couple, Pebble Beach home, told me they were flexible on timeline. 6 weeks into the listing, they mentioned almost casually that they were in a distress sale situation. That's not flexible. That's a countdown clock. If I'd known that from day one, I would have priced differently, marketed differently, negotiated differently. We got it done, but it was stressful for everyone. Had they answered this question honestly up front, we'd have had a smoother process and possibly a better outcome. So when I ask about timeline, I'm not making conversation. I'm building your strategy. Question 3, and this is where my 36 years really comes into play. What are you actually selling? Now you might think, William, I'm selling my house. But here's what I've learned. On the Monterey Peninsula, you're almost never just selling a house. Are you selling a lifestyle? The ability to walk to Carmel-by-the-Sea restaurants, to play Pebble Beach golf, to watch sunsets from your deck? Are you selling land value? In some cases, especially larger Carmel Valley parcels, the land itself is worth more than the structure. Sometimes the highest and best use is a tear down or major renovation. Are you selling legacy? Some of these properties have history, celebrity owners, architectural significance. That provenance has value to the right buyer. Are you selling potential? A dated home in a premium location might actually appeal to buyers who want to create their own vision. Here's a real example. I listed a home in Carmel Valley last year. What they were actually selling was one of the last remaining lots in that prestigious neighborhood. The house was almost irrelevant. We marketed the allure of the lot, the potential, sold to a buyer who did a complete renovation. The sellers got their number because we understood what we were actually selling. Get this question wrong, and you market to the wrong buyer, price based on the wrong comps, and leave money on the table. So 3 questions every Monterey Peninsula seller needs to answer before listing. 1, who is your buyer? 2, what's your timeline? 3, what are you actually selling? Get these right, and everything else, pricing, staging, marketing, negotiation, flows from a clear strategy. If you're thinking about selling a home anywhere on the Monterey Peninsula, Carmel, Carmel Valley, Pebble Beach, Big Sur, Pacific Grove, I'd love to help you answer these questions for your property. Links in the description. And if you found this valuable, subscribe. I'm going to keep sharing what 36 years in this market has taught me. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment below. What question do you have about selling on the Monterey Peninsula? I'll read every one.